this hair care product. She was rocking her little natural hair yesterday, but she's like, now Rihanna, if you don't think that we know that you added some pieces in there, because that's not the same hair we seen yesterday. But I'm not hating on you. Sell that product, girl. How are y'all doing today? What's poppin'? It's Tuesday. I hope this week goes by fast. It's Father's Day weekend. What did I do today? Well, first of all, I want to shout out my husband. He had been working hard. Hold on, because I was supposed to restore this, y'all. I don't know if I did. Okay, so this was our pool, like, when we first got it up. Look how green this thing is, y'all. Like, it's green. Like, algae out the... Them people had never... So we literally just bought this house, right? So these people... I don't even know the last time they opened up the pool. But the pictures, they had it open. But who knows really when they had it open last. But anyway... My husband has been working on his pool. Now look at it. He's treated it and did all these things to it. And now, you know, he got the pool up, y'all. This is me doing my little water aerobics earlier in the pool. But look how blue this water is. This man been working on this pool night and day. That's our old filter, because we had to replace a filter and like I told my husband, at this point you're a pool expert. He said he's not, but yeah. Also had to go to the DMV today and get my new license. Had to get a new license, get some tags, you know, because it's just not right if they don't rip us off. Like, if we don't pay our property taxes and all that crap, then, you know, we have to pay to drive on these roads, as well as pay taxes to drive on the roads that have potholes in them. I mean, it's just bananas, but I had to do that today. I had to get a new license, and it was so many people standing in line for something that didn't open till, I think I got there at 8, they didn't open till 9, and it was already like 20 people in the line. It's just ridiculous, but being a grown-up is hard business. But I got that done, so I did do that today. And I'm just trying to get all my stuff finished for the year, so I don't want to fool with nobody for the rest of this year, y'all. I know that's just too good to be true, but I'm trying to get the little things taken care of, so when the big things come, it'll be, you know, won't have that on top of that. But that's about it. That's really it. I'm still binge watching my show, Animal Kingdom. I don't know how many seasons it is. I think 6, but I told my husband, like, we're going to be watching that for the rest of the year. But that show got me hooked. Like, I can't stop watching it. So that's really all I did today, guys. But I was excited to finally swim. So that was cool. So shout out to my husband and all the chemicals that we threw in that pool to make it what it is today. Other than that, y'all, let's get into this news. I really didn't read too much on the news because I was binge watching my shows all day. So the Biden campaign put out a digital ad around former President Trump's awkward kiss and hug with former the Arizona hero. A 23-year-old woman allegedly involved in the killings of 3 other roommates in Virginia was taken into custody after a chase. I don't know why they repeated that news. Steve Carell is not a part of the anticipated spinoff of The Office. Y'all crazy. Steve Carell is The Office for America. Like, that's crazy. Just make a guest appearance. Los Angeles City Council President Paul Krikorian accused law enforcement agents from across the region of transporting homeless people from neighboring cities into his district. I mean, it wouldn't be shocking. I mean, y'all got Skid Row. Local officials in Arizona released a mugshot of Rudy Giuliani. Jurors in Hunter Biden's gun trial began deliberating on Monday after hearing closing arguments. That was a fast trial. I mean, all I can say is crack made him do it, because he was cracked out. Chappelle Roan said during a performance at the Governor's Ball Music Festival on Sunday that she rejected an invitation from the White House to perform at Pride celebration. Oh no. Rapper, we talked about this. Megan Benz targeted for AI. 18,000 people were without permanent housing, more than 3 times as many as the year before. This is in Chicago. African elephants call each other and respond to individual names. I mean, yeah, animals communicate. I needed an article on that because I could have wrote that. I've been seeing this King George Ren Fair. I have no interest. That's how you know Max is falling off, because until they bring back that Game of Thrones stuff, ain't nobody watching that. The beloved National Park Service ranger died when he tripped and fell and struck his head on a rock during the annual astronomy festival. Dang. Park ranger. How you do that, bro? Was them stars so mesmerizing? Rest in peace to him. David Hoosier is set to be executed for the 2009 murder of a married couple. He looks so nice, and just look, I mean, you know, he looks so nice, but he's a murderer. Senate White House argues that Justice Alito offered an improper opinion regarding a question that might appear in the Supreme Court interview. Okay. A 16-year-old American girl died when she stumbled and plunged more than 300 feet down an embankment while sightseeing in a walk in Switzerland. You know, when you go on them trips, that's a possibility. I remember when me and my husband went to those ruins in Mexico. One little slip, I was already telling myself, because there's no handrails, just slippery rocks. Like, I mean, don't cry for me if that was the case, because I shouldn't have carried my crazy butt up there. A former Westchester, New York cop turned drug dealer and orchestrated the execution of 4 men in 2016 has been sentenced to 4 back-to-back life sentences. The head of a massive California pension fund tells CNBC that he is voting against the revised pay package for Tesla Elon Musk. Does Elon really need a pension fund package? I mean, he's gonna be straight. He's a billionaire. California socialite Rebecca Grossman has been sentenced to 15 years in prison for a hit-and-run killing of 2 children while they were in a crosswalk more than 3 years ago. Shh. Only 15 years. Home equity is near all-time high, but tapping it may be tough due to high interest rates. I try not to touch any of that stuff. Apple unveiled sweeping plans to put AI into every corner of the iPhone. I mean, might as well. Reverend James Lawson Jr., a civil rights leader who advocated for nonviolent protests, died at 95. He lived a long life. Them activists be living a long life. Newly crowned Miss Maryland USA Cambodian American trans woman and military wife is speaking out against transphobic hate comments she received after winning her title. Florida's top attorney is battling the revitalizing an old program that distributes playing cards in jails. I thought that was a Red Lobster in that picture. More than 6 out of 10 black adults surveyed in a new Pew study agreed that institutions such as criminal justice system, the country's economic system, and policing are designed to hold black people back. Activist hedge fund Elliott Management has embezzled a $1.9 billion stake in Southwest Airlines. The CDC asked farm workers with flu symptoms to get tested, but researchers are concerned about lack of outreach. I mean, they gonna live by the farm and die by the farm. The managing director of global investment banking firm was caught on camera punching a person in the face and knocking them down onto the street in Brooklyn. Shoot, y'all better show who this is so y'all can get paid. A kite surfer stranded on a California beach used rocks to spell help, leading to his rescue. Smart man. A closely watched Alzheimer's drug from Eli Lilly won a backing of federal health advisors setting the stage for the treatment's expected approval. I follow a lot of dementia patients on TikTok. I hope this works for them. Alright. Titans Darren Waller is retiring. Vehicle carrying 3 hostages broke down during a rescue operation while under militant fire. Celine Dion is further opening up about her health and why she decided to publicly share her diagnosis of stiff person syndrome. I used to like Celine, but I'm telling you that commercial she did disturbed me so much. Hot rodent men are apparently in this season. According to a flurry of online articles and social media posts, defining a new category of unconventionally attractive men that look like mice. What was that little mouse? It's so many little mouse movies, but I mean, if you like a mouse, you like a mouse. Olympic gold medalist swimmer Katie Ledecky says she's training with the men's team ahead of the Paris 2024 Olympics. I mean, that's smart. Jolie Lewis-Drivers countered her former co-star Jerry Seinfeld's comments blaming political correctness for killing comedy, saying an antenna about sensitivities is not a bad thing. Doesn't mean that all comedy goes out the window as a result. A massive 3-alarm fire broke out in a Miami apartment building on Monday. Moderna says its combination vaccine to protect against COVID and influenza generated a strong immune response. Listen, I got stock in Moderna. I need y'all to come back, because y'all was falling off. And I'm not saying I want another virus, but I'm just saying I had some stock in that stuff. Alright, y'all. I think we're somewhat caught up. Let's see what I liked on this app today.
Take Mr. Steele into custody, please. Okay. proprietary information or information that you should not be having that was ex parte. Why? With a party. Why? State of Georgia. How about the witness? How about Mr. Copeland, who supposedly announced he's not testifying and he'll sit for 2 years, and then supposedly, that's the time of court. Okay, well, excuse me, let me rephrase that. This court supposedly said, I can hold you until the end of this trial. Ms. Hilton supposedly said, actually, all of the defendants and then all 26 people are disposed of. Is that true? What this is coercion, witness intimidation, ex parte communications that we have a constitutional right to be present for. So I understand that you're upset towards me, but that's what I did. Mr. Steele, I still wouldn't want to know, how did you come upon this information? Who told you? What I want to know is, why wasn't I there? Why, sir, I'm going to hold you in contempt if you don't tell me who tell me who this information is. I don't want to be held in contempt. Well, then answer that question. That's attorney-client privilege information. Attorney-client privilege, unless you were in my chambers, that's the only way you can figure out. I tell you what, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. If you don't tell me who it is, I'm going to put you. I'm going to put you in contempt because that is not attorney-client privilege. Attorney work product privilege. How did you get that information supposedly from my chambers? Did somebody tell you? You should have told me. You got 5 minutes. Well, I don't need it. I want to continue. You got 5 minutes? This is what I was told. Mr. Copeland made statements that he admitted to killing Donovan Thomas. Don't take my notes. No.
This Young Thug trial has been going on for almost a year, and I think it's expected to go on until next year. And it's just crazy. Everybody thinks the judge is biased against the defense. It's been going on so long, I tune in, but if I'm a juror and I'm sitting on a trial for over a year, I'm probably not going to be on the prosecution side, because I'm going to be mad, because y'all got me up in here for what at this point? And they've added all these people that have nothing to do with nothing. They're trying to get him on a RICO charge or whatever, but I don't know, y'all. It's a mess. But now the lawyer then got locked up, y'all.
Working Joe has more than $1 million. I've never worked, I've never done nothing. Y'all let me have 5 minutes of max. Then y'all gotta get out, okay?
5 minutes? You know how much 5 minutes is?
Okay. He's never worked with Joe, but they go, oh, wait, yo, anybody get water? No, we good, bro. Paper towels for them. Shut the fuck up.
I don't understand this streaming stuff. I don't know who Ty James is, but Michael Rainey Jr. is the little boy that plays on Power, and this girl was clearly groping him in the background, and there was kids right in front of her. That's, to me, the most craziest part. But she groped him. Michael Rainey was clearly not feeling it, and lots of people saw it. The dude is apologizing on behalf of his sister. First he was like, that's my sister, don't say nothing bad about her, but your sister, was she on Molly or something? I'm so confused. Like, she knew you was streaming. Like, I'm so confused, but clearly he was not happy about that. The Power Michael Rainey dude, he wasn't. Tariq, I'm gonna call him Tariq. That's his name on Power, but that's crazy. So this is MC Hammer. It ain't him, but here we go. Hot in that pleather, but Listen, if I didn't know any better, I would think this was either MC Hammer or one of his backup dancers because he knew the moves. I only know one. But he had the outfit. Y'all know he was tired. So why was anybody get this drunk on a resort all inclusive? Like,
Well, we had a time last night. I'm telling you now.
this would be crazy to me though, because y'all be swearing these resorts be poisoning y'all drinks, then y'all go over there and just drink like this, and then if something happen, it'll be like, oh, they poison the drinks, and then every year this happens. I'm in confusion on this. All right, let's see what TMZ is yapping about. That's Dancing for Devils. Doc Miranda claims she gets death threats. Family did her no favors. I don't know what's up with that dance cult. I don't know what it is. Joe Jonas is cozying up with a mystery woman after he split from his girlfriend or wife. I don't know. Tom Brady's final NFL game pans sell for over $89,000. That's pretty cheap. I would have thought they would have went for more. Tory Lane's wife files for divorce after less than 1 year. Maybe she thought he was getting out. Viral suspended licensed driver gets his learner's permit, can help his court case. He got his learner's permit, y'all. I'm glad he's making strides to correct his mistake, because it was new he didn't have no license. And he up here talking about he embarrassed, but you know what? You fall down, you get back up. As long as this man gets his learner permit and he didn't have a license to suspend, maybe they'll let him drive. As long as his child support and stuff's caught up. John Fetterman behind a wheel in a car crash. Cops say he rammed the driver. Why y'all throw his wife in the picture? Vancouver seaplane collides with a boat during takeoff. Madonna's lawyer slams false settlement news over some concert. See what else y'all got. Carrie Underwood falls off stage at her South Carolina concert after rain-filled finale. Billie Eilish, I was ghosted by a guy who I knew for years. Some of this stuff I refuse to read because it's just so stupid. Florida sniper shoots bank robber through computer, rescues 2 hostages. That's pretty cold. That's what some TV series. Cher is selling her Ferrari Dino. Trump said Taylor Swift is beautiful, it's just that she's a liberal. Meghan McCain says J-Lo was deeply unpleasant when I was on The View. Meghan, that's like you calling the pot calling kettle black, because Meghan, I would imagine you are deeply unpleasant. Ariana Grande enjoys a date night with Ethan Slater as Dalton Gomez goes, I don't care. John Leguizamo takes out full-page ad, begs for change, stop whitewashing the Emmys. John, I don't know what to tell you, bro. They're gonna keep on doing it. hop into these Reddits, y'all. I think we covered most of the news. What are you proud to say you've done? I got my dang on tags and new license. I adulted every day. Okay, so if it's a few months left in August, I'll be 4 years sober. Amen. When I was 14 years old, one of my school teachers needed to go through surgery overseas. Along with dozens of other students, we sold sandwiches and candies to help fighting for this procedure, and it was wholesome, cancer-free, paid off debts a lot earlier than I expected. Don't buy nothing else because it come back. I'm an elementary teacher this year. I had a student who was nonverbal his whole life. Something happened when he was a toddler and he doesn't talk. One school year later, he talks with everybody now. He's read out loud in front of the entire class about once a week, just giving children confidence to face difficulties. It's a proud moment. Wonderful. I've lost 85 pounds and put on a noticeable amount of muscle. Banga. I've become the counselor I needed when I was young, and I'm really happy I can help other people. I got a 4.0. Leaving a toxic relationship. I beat an addiction to crystal meth without any help. I went 10 days sober from booze, going for 14. Listen to these triumphant stories. This is what life is about, y'all. Keep going. What's the biggest mistake you made in a job interview? One time I was doing a virtual job interview and my doorbell rung and it was somebody that I had to see. So that wasn't good. But on top of that, I had on a business shirt and I'm pretty sure, and I had shorts at the bottom. I'm pretty sure they might have saw my shorts when I got up. Pretty sure. Needless to say, I didn't get that job. I answered a question about my biggest weakness by saying I work too hard. Classic cliche, and it sounded insincere. They knew I knew awkward science. Yeah, silence. Yeah, I mean, freaking stupid trick questions. The manager had a picture of a naked moke rat on his desktop, and I said gross. He then told me it was his pet. I interviewed at a bank. Was going perfectly despite how nervous I was, and I was probably in a great chance. And the final question, what panel asked me, why should we hire you? And I word vomited replied, because I probably won't steal your money. I mean, I thought that was pretty witty. Interviewing for a part-time job at Kmart as a summer gig in college, HR director. So everything looks good. If you ever need a job reference or letter or recommendation, come see me at the end of your employment here, and we'll see what you can do. Oh, that won't be necessary. I have references for real jobs already. Not the sharpest knife. It was a popular craft store. They asked what crafts I like to do, and I have zero craft talent. And I said, I like making jewelry because I did so in school once. They hired me, and whenever a customer had a jewelry question, they asked me, and I eventually learned the ropes, though. Well, you got the job. That's not fair. Did not prepare for the what the 3 things to improve your skills question? Job was work with disabled kids. I said I can improve my patience. That's terrible. And I can improve my timeliness, and I can improve my communication. Yeah, if you work with disabled kids, those are the worst answers to give. It was a silly server question, but during the interview, a guy asked, do you smoke? My 19-year-old stoner brain said, cigarettes? No. Stoner brain. Alright, let's see what else. See what am I the a-hole is yapping about. Am I the a-hole for ignoring my injured mom after she cut me out of the will? Sometimes Reddit community is empathy and strength, but you all gave me the clarity and perspective, and I'm sorry I couldn't reply to everyone individually. But before I could talk myself out of it, I texted my mom's youngest sibling and told her I was tapping out. I rented a bit. She bought a plane ticket, and I was down, so she gave me an update. The original post was, I'm the eldest of divorced children. My father is happily remarried with more kids, but my brother stays single and relies on me and younger brother to help her with her retirement in her living facility. It's a flight and a rental car to go see her. And if it's an emergency, it's all on me. So I'm just going to skim to this. Some months ago, I found an accident that, except for some small amounts for my kids, she leaving everything to my little brother. It will be a decent amount of $250,000. I was so perplexed and it really hurt. She refused to talk about it to me, hung up on me, and ignored my text. So I would text. So I was stuck trying to figure out. And my brother's always worked low-wage jobs. However, he has a few expenses because he lives completely free with a wealthy relative who has a large home. Recently, she had another accident and called me to help. I got the call from a hospital and then her rehab center because even though my brother is her medical point of contact, I'm always the one taking care of her. My love for her was never based on money. She is my mom, yada, yada, yada. My spouse says I'm right, that I prioritize her needs. Anyway, somebody said your mother refuses to spend her $250,000 on help. Instead, she would use your savings and your PTO to preserve. I don't think you are the a-hole. I don't know, that's a sticky one because it's like sometimes parents are so stingy. So if you don't do it for the money, then just do it. You'll be rewarded some kind of way. Because if your brother is bad with money, he gonna blow through all that money anyway. And I never bank on when my parents say they leaving me. They can change their mind or be straight lying. And they could change their mind too. Am I the a-hole for calling my mother-in-law uneducated about nutrition and kicking her out of my house after she criticized what I made for my son for dinner? Dang. Pretty harsh. So my husband and I have an 18-month-old son, and I'm pregnant with my second baby. We live in a major city, and his mother lives in a suburb. Yesterday was one of those days she wanted to have some labs drawn for hospital, and then came over our home when I was done cooking. My husband was at the gym. I had a really long day, and I felt absolutely exhausted. And so she made spaghetti with frozen meatballs. But when I went to the kitchen to start cooking, I realized that we were actually out of meatballs. I thought we still had. It was too late, so we just had spaghetti, which I just called it pasta. When my mother-in-law saw me putting my son in his seat and serving his food, she was like, "Just pasta?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I totally forgot I used up the frozen meatballs." And she said that she wished I would have texted her and she would have grabbed some. This really kind of irked me as the meal was a real dinner. It's not like I don't serve him protein. I told her that maybe she's uneducated with how much protein humans actually need, and there's nothing wrong with our dinner. She immediately got very upset, and I called her uneducated, and she's raised 3 boys, and she knows what growing boys need, and told me I should try and plan harder next time. This comment sent me over the edge, and I yelled at her to get out of my house. What did your husband say? He said now he's mad at me, and I'm wondering if I actually didn't do anything wrong. Not the a-hole, the best parents in the world run out of meatballs. Sometimes your mother-in-law seems obnoxious. I think throwing the mama out of the house is a little extreme, but you are pregnant, but girl, you must have never really liked this lady. Why you had her over your house all the time? Somebody said, not the a-hole, you're pregnant with a toddler. The last thing you need is your mother-in-law calling you lazy. She didn't get off her high horse. Yeah, she should have just brung some food, but now you didn't kick the lady out the house. Oh my gosh, I want to read one more of these. Sometimes these get on my nerves, and I think I'm going to be done with them. Let's go over some of my story times. These people just be getting on my nerves. Some of my story times, but I can fast forward through those. This music was really loud, but pretty much this is a friendly reminder that those little cars that the kids have, the little lithium battery cars, they can explode inside of a enclosed garage on a hot day. Somebody said this is actually a huge issue with battery-powered cars. I'm glad it's being brought to attention. Same with lithium and battery mines, disposable batteries. Somebody said I was today years old. Thanks for the heads up. Yeah. Somebody said a new fear unlock. I know, man. It's always something. Somebody said it was like I was meant to see this. My sons have had one in their spare room for over like a year. I just told my husband that I was about to move it into the garage. We live in Florida. Thank you. Yeah, don't put it in that heat.
So after telling you guys that there was a movie coming out Friday titled The Watchers, and that the timing is absolutely terrifying of this movie being released, a lot of you say you don't know who the Watchers are. And like, come on. I have been talking about this for forever, but since some of you guys are new here, let me tell you who the Watchers in fact are. First things first, I want you to know that the Watchers come from a hidden book of the Bible that was removed a long, long time ago, and it is a part of the Apocrypha. To be clear, this is not your average Bible story, so if you are someone who gets freaked out right before bed, please scroll. The book of Enoch is the book of what was supposed to be Noah's great-grandfather that again was removed from the Bible, and the book of Enoch and 2 other books go over his life as he tells his accounts that are basically biblical. But in the beginning of the book of Enoch, it tells the story of why God sent the flood in the first place. The flood, like Noah's Ark, the Great Deluge. And for the sake of time, I am giving you a very fast, brief recap, but let's go. So there were these angels in heaven. There is a specific number for them in the book of Enoch and specific names. Their job was to be angels, stay in the sky, and watch over God's greatest creation, humans. Until one day, there was one watcher who decided he didn't want to do that anymore. The story is a lot similar to the devil, but this is about different angels, not the devil. And the Watchers come up with a plan, and they fall to Earth. They abandon their posts as watchers over humanity and actually come down to humanity and corrupt all of mankind. See, the Watchers were angels even on Earth when they fell to humans. They taught humans things that God did not want humans to know, because we were made perfect in his image at the time, and the Watchers corrupted us, or the people back then. And that's why God sent the Great Deluge, because the Watchers were down here corrupting the heck out of mankind. They were doing things like taking animals, 300 to 200 of each animal, and having you-know-what with them, as well as experimenting on species of animal and creating crossbreeds. They mated with humans, and that's how we got giants, or the Nephilim. They mated with fish and created mermaids. They mated with horses and created, I don't know the name, centaurs, yes. They also taught women about jewelry, about makeup. They also taught men about war, secrets of the universe, secrets of the heavens, and corrupted everybody. But see, the movie that comes out tomorrow, for it to come out right now, not a coincidence. I'm going to tell you guys more. I can go in more detail.
The more you know. I don't know what to do with this information, but it's a show coming out, or a movie coming out on Netflix.
I remember when I lost my mind. Are you okay? Oh my God.
Eddie.
Oh my God.
I didn't think it was very realistic in the movie, and it turns out it's pretty realistic.
No, it's hilarious. Dwight is probably one of my favorite characters in any sitcom.
All I ask is that you shower every day, because I like to eat coochie.
Yeah, that was a Hinge message. Needless to say, she uninstalled that app.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation. Yep.
They did eventually get him out, y'all.
Spotsylvania Sheriff's deputies are searching for 23-year-old Alyssa Jane Venable. They say that she should be considered armed and dangerous. They'll be moved out of the way. A source close to this investigation.
Okay, so this is about that 23-year-old girl that was on the run, which I read about her, and she has been caught.
How come I am just finding
lied. I am 48 years old and I never knew that I did that. Did you?
Now, they say some microwaves don't, so don't be breaking your microwave, but still haven't tried mine yet.
I just saw a video of a woman sharing about how her husband of 25 years just kind of upped and left the family for an affair partner. And it's prompting me, since I'm in storytelling mode, to tell you all about how my husband and partner of 20 years kind of did the same thing. We had started dating when I was 19. We married when I was 25. And now I'm 39, and he's turning 40. And he was starting to act differently. The truth is, we weren't the right people for each other, and we really were not happily married. We had 2 children. We loved each other. But we just really weren't the right fit for each other. I wanted to leave many, many times over those 20 years, but I just couldn't do it. And I never would have done it. But anyway, he's approaching his 40th birthday, and he's starting to change. He works in law enforcement, and he's working out at like 3 or 4 a.m., supposedly before work. And at some point, a woman from his job starts working out with them. And I find it just a little odd. But my husband at the time had, not ever done anything like stepped out on me. There were no nights that he went out with guy friends or did anything. And I remember in June of this particular year, 2013, him telling me about how this woman that he was also working out with, how she called him and told him all about how she thought her husband was gay. And I remember he was shaving and I was in the shower, and he's telling me the story, and it's just very odd because the truth of the matter was he wasn't the kind of person that someone would call and talk to about anything. And I got out of the shower and I was like, wait, what? She called you to talk to you about her husband? That's really weird. Next thing you know, she pops up on his Facebook page. So now I'm watching. And there's nothing that seems really suspicious. We have a family trip up north and he bails out, saying he can't get out of work. And when I come home from that trip, my marriage is basically over. I don't realize it at the time, but now I know that it was. It was almost 4th of July, and on 4th of July week, he went out for the first time, and he didn't come home the whole night. And he supposedly was with this woman's friend and her husband. And then later I would find out that she was there. And I was up the whole night. I mean, I had been with this guy for 20 years. He had never not come home. And, I was crushed. I was crushed. He came home. He was really early, the next morning, 6 a.m. And things would just go, bad real quick. And I remember I would be, telling him, look, if you went out, go. Just go. If there's something going on with that woman, go. Do not stay here and make things messy. And all he was in such turmoil. He started disappearing and, being, going earlier before work and later. And I knew something was up. And I had a really big trip, a trip to Hawaii for a conference that my parents were coming with, and I was taking the kids, and he was supposed to come. And the night before the trip, he didn't come home until really, really late, and he hadn't packed. And when he came in, I said to him, look, I'm going to the trip. If you don't want your family anymore, if you don't want me and this family, stay behind. Let me go and have 2 weeks to get my life together with my parents, so when I come home I can regroup. But very last minute he throws everything that he wants to bring on the trip into a suitcase. And the next morning it's super early. Of course I haven't slept a minute. He comes and we're in the car and I'm sitting behind him and I'm watching him flip through pictures on his phone, and he has a picture of her, and he stops and he looks. was crushed. We go to Hawaii. I'm there for a conference. We've got our babies, and he keeps sneaking off. Well, he doesn't know that I can read all his Facebook messages, and he's writing her, make plans to go call her. And I try to confront him, and it just, he lies. When we come home, he, I try a different tactic. All he's saying is this is his friend. This video is getting long, but watch what you want. He says this is just his friend. So I'm like, okay, if this is your friend, let me meet her. Bring her over. Right? Your friend is my friend. Anyway, a week later, after so much fighting, he would go supposedly to a hotel, but he didn't go to a hotel. He claims he slept in his truck that night, and the next night, he said he was going to his sergeant's house. And I was a nervous wreck. Again, my husband had never done anything like this. But I didn't know how to do, find my iPhone or anything. And I was up, crying and trying to figure things out and knowing he was lying. And I remembered the Boston bombers. And, sorry, I have bronchitis. And how they stole that guy's car with his phone in it, and they were able to track it. And so I Googled how they found that guy in the car, and then I realized, hey, we have to find my iPhone. Anyway, I was able to do a lot of sleuthing and find him on the Find My iPhone, and then find out that that was her house. I would go and see that he was parked there, but I didn't confront him. Go up to the house. I was scared because they're both in law enforcement, and I really didn't want to show down. Plus, I had my young son with me. So what would happen is I would text him a picture of my ring and taking it off, and the next day he tried to come home, and he packed his bags, and he said he was moving in with her. And she was just going to rent him a room while he figured some shit out. So I was like, look, dude, it doesn't work that way. I'm getting a divorce attorney or a counselor, and it's going one way or the other. Your choice. He told me I couldn't tell him who he could be friends with, and they were just friends. And meanwhile, he was going to go live with her and her, prepubescent daughter. No, I don't think so. You have 2 children here. So he moved out. That same night he moved out, he tried to come home. I don't want to let him. I think he went to a hotel that night. Then he moved into a townhouse, like a family home, thing for a while. And we would ultimately get divorced. And then he married her. After spending a whole year telling me she was just a friend and nothing important to him, he married her. And they are still married. So that's the story of how I found out my husband was cheating. And, yeah.
I wish this lady all the best. She should have never let him come to Hawaii. She should have took her 2 weeks and got her life together. But, when you be with somebody that long, it's hard to leave. What a freaking coward that dude is. But hopefully she gets over her bronchitis and she's somewhere being beautiful. Looks like she has a PhD, so... She said it was a really very hard chapter in her life, but she said this happened in 2013, so it's been 10 years. She says she's healed, and she's had multiple chapters. I need to see if this lady didn't got remarried. She looked good. She was tired in that picture. But I don't know. Even if she didn't, she looks like she does a lot of stories, but amen. Live your life, y'all. She should have went to Hawaii and left that Budinsky. Anyway, y'all have an amazing day. I pray this week goes by super fast so y'all can be off and living y'all best lives. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Peace.